Alright, let's get some right now. Alright. The creation process. Oh, look at that, we got a message. Man, all this has nothing to do with what we have going on. But let's mute that because that could be a headache later on. All right.
Spark has two states. Bulb state will not attach to a vine or pole, and flower state will attach to one. You attach to a pole by inputting up one. His bulb state is very slow. He can do a melee attack with his vine, and he can launch horns from the top of his head by pressing R. Both can be charged to give them the thunder element, which can stun enemies and fire bosses. In his flower state, you have the same vine melee attack, but if you hold up to right, you can switch poles if able to do so. You can move up and down on these poles as much as you wish. Pressing R gives you a spread of 4 horns. Charging the vine is the same as his bulb form. His attack with R becomes a spread of 3 electric horns, which become a triangular area of damage if all 3 hit surfaces that are registered at the moment. Rosemark is pretty decent in his flower form. He has good movement given there's holes in his moveset.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Popped in here. I'm gonna attempt to tell you a joke. Knock knock. We got Xbox updates. Massive Xbox update.
Xbox just lifted the lid on a massive update which has just started rolling out, and this one is pretty huge for gaming as a whole and also for preservation. Not only that, but Xbox has also announced a bunch of new Xbox and Xbox Game Pass games. Halo has just launched, and my review is live right now here on the channel, and there are even some good news about Xbox hardware. Yeah, I'm as shocked as you are about that.
Welcome to the stream.
On it later. With that, my name is Fletcher, and welcome back everyone to Xbox Nation, and let's delve.
Appreciate you popping in.
First up, and in case you somehow missed my video a couple of days back now, Xbox have finally announced the Wave 2 games for this July and into early August, and there are some awesome titles for you to dive right into. I've chucked up the graphic on screen for you now, but of course the most notable additions here are that of Hell Is Us, Easter Reincarnation, and the obvious one being Halo Campaign Evolved, of course. Personally, I do think this was a pretty decent Xbox Game Pass drop, as there's just such a wide mix of different games here, from indie to AAA. I was due to cover Shift at Midnight in a review, but unfortunately I was hard locked out the game 2 days prior to the embargo day, and it's still not fixed, so do expect a review on this one on our website sometime soon. But yeah, a bit of a shame there. But overall, it is a decent game to play, and I definitely recommend you check it out. You can also now play as well Tears of Metal, as it's joined PC Game Pass on the 22nd.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome
It
to the
wasn't
stream.
mentioned in the official roundup, but the reviews look pretty solid
Currently
on
doing
this
some
one.
writing right now, catching up
People
on
Discord
YouTube
server,
videos
yeah,
and
it's
such
pretty
and
back
things.
inside.
But
In
thank
addition
you
to
for
these,
popping
though,
in.
we will be losing actually 8 games this month, including stuff like Sniper Elite Resistance and Celeste. I recommend you play them both, or at least grab them, as they will be discounted by at least 20% until they leave the service. If you do want to check out all of the games that have been announced for Xbox Game Pass though, then make sure to check out my video for the full rundown on what to look forward to. Although there's been quite a lot of doom and gloom surrounding the price of Xbox Series consoles following an increase announcement in late June, it turns out last month was actually the best month of 2026 for Xbox console sales, specifically in the US. This came from Matt Piscatella of Sakana, and he highlighted today how Xbox Series sales were up a whopping 86% compared to that of the previous June.
Hey, shout out to Xbox sales going up.
Love
to see that. Love to see that.
That kind of ruined June 2025 for an Xbox sales perspective. For the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 also kind of ensured that Xbox consoles weren't exactly in high demand that time last year. The big issue though moving forward is that it's probably not going to get much better than this in 2026. The new price increases for the Xbox Series X and S does go into effect at the start of August, and Piscatella does mention in his report that both the Switch 2 and PlayStation 5 definitely still outsold the Xbox in June, despite being significantly down year on year. Still, it is totally worth noting the positive, at least for Xbox, and they did have a bit of win for hardware for once, so I'm going to take it as a win at this moment in time. Still, it is worth noting the positives, and at least for Xbox, it is a bit of a win for hardware for once, and at the end of the day, we're just going to have to take that. Now, at the time of this video going on, you may already know the Halo campaign evolved, as the early access has now started. Although this is a remake, the game is still set up to be one of the biggest launches for Xbox in 2026, and I do anticipate a lot of fun is being had right now. In conjunction with this though, it is worth noting that my review and impressions video has now gone live, and you can watch it here on the channel. I did cover quite a bit here: the improved graphical fidelity, the port options, the new missions, some extra stuff, some bugs I did encounter, and a ton more. I did play through quite a bit of this one, and yeah, although I was certainly impressed, I still miss that multiplayer component for sure. I'm still a bit perplexed why they didn't ship it with it. Still, I think it's totally worth playing again, as the campaign is just so phenomenal, and if you're a Halo fan, then you're going to be gobbling this one up. Are you playing Halo right now though, or are you going to be waiting for the full release on the 28th with an Xbox Game Pass? Let me know down below. Talking of classic Xbox IPs though, we just had some huge Xbox backwards compatibility news, so let's check it out. That's right, the rumours were actually true, and last night Xbox put out an article over on Xbox Wire where they basically detailed and announced backwards compatibility for original Xbox games, and it's officially coming to PC, with 4 titles being made available pretty instantly. Blink's Timesweeper, Conquer Life Reloaded, Crimson Skies, I Raid the Revenge, and Fusion Frenzy. Yeah, a proper throwback to that one there. Xbox did state that the first 4 games are part of a broader effort to preserve Xbox games in the past and bring them over to PC over time. They're also adding some new features here, including up to 4 times resolution scaling, V-Sync support, anisotropic filtering, enhanced anti-aliasing, and even the arrival of Xbox achievements later this year. I'll get into that a little bit shortly. If you already own any of these games digitally, or you have access through Game Pass, you'll be able to start playing them over on PC, and they'll all be getting both Xbox Play Anywhere support and even cloud gaming support. It is worth noting that Conquer has just been added to Game Pass as well for the very first time, which is awesome to see, and I personally just cannot wait to finally play it yet again with those nice little improvements. There have been no indication though about what the next set of games could be, but I would love to hear what you want to see coming soon. Do you want to see the likes of Midtown Madness 3, for instance, or even Nice Steel Republic? I want to know your favourites, so let me know. This is a massive win though for game preservation, as I know it's a hot talked about subject lately, especially considering PlayStation is ditching physical media, and it's just such a big win for Xbox, which will have a roll-on effect for the industry. At the end of the day, yes, they are digital products, but with PC ownership being a lot more solidified, it hopefully means
that is really nice.
Can be continued to be
got pretty decent updates coming for Xbox. They're preserving the Xbox market, like the OG like Xbox games, which is really nice. And we're getting them brought to PC. Getting Fusion Frenzy on PC, if we can get that. I know the community can get that up and running multiplayer. That's really nice.
It's also worth noting that Xbox did state they'll be bringing its select original Xbox games later on in the year as well, and I do suspect we're going to get more games announced as part of that Xbox 25-year anniversary. Maybe we get it during the event, but apparently it's still happening, but I don't really know what's on there. I maybe expect it for, say, some games like the original Halo, for instance, maybe something like Battlefront, I could really be hoping then, or even Psychonauts. Now that would be a pretty good one. Anyway, if you're an achievement fiend like me, then it's a bloody good day for all of us achievement hunters. I will of course report when all of these get supported and when more get added, and the best way to keep up to date with all of this is with a subscription down below.
Okay.
Well, if you've been waiting for a proper modern successor to Burnout Paradise, then let me just say Recreation 2 has just been announced for the Xbox Series consoles and PC. It's now being developed by a new studio called When Times Turn. It's a newly formed studio made up of the developers from the original Recreation team, including studio head Eunice Sperry, who actually previously oversaw multiple Burnout games. This sequel appears to be leaning much harder though into the open world arcade racing, with less focus on the creation mechanics from the first game. Bloody hallelujah.
Good, we getting a Burnout update.
Take place across a dense city featuring urban districts, docks, and a huge airport, with races being built around shortcuts, heavy collisions, and of course smashing rivals off the roads. The original Recreation had some good ideas to it. I personally thought it was a bit of an asset flip, and it definitely lacked the budget and polish to fully deliver on them. So I'm hopeful that this new team can take the foundation of it and create the modern Burnout style experience that we've wanted for years. There's still no release date for this one, but development is being shaped alongside the game's community, which is awesome to hear, and hopefully they get it right this time around. Who knows though, I'll just be keeping an eye on this one, but yeah, exciting days for all of us Burnout fans. In some cool news, and in case you missed it, Xbox is continuing to expand Xbox Game Pass beyond its own consoles, as the new Starter Edition is now being included with Meta Horizon Plus subscriptions at no additional cost. If you haven't heard of Meta Horizon Plus, I don't blame you. It's essentially a membership service for MetaQuest VR headsets. Pretty limited if you're in the world of VR. It normally gives subscribers instant access to about 100 VR games, but eligible members will now get access to the Xbox Game Pass Starter Edition. This version of Game Pass, if you're not familiar, gives you access to about 50 games across Xbox consoles and PC, along with Xbox rewards and 10 hours of cloud gaming every month. The selection of games is essentially what you'd receive on Game Pass Essential, to stuff like Fallout 4. I believe the original Psychonauts is on there as well. There's a few basic titles here and there. It's not exactly the most thrilling variety, but it's still a decent addition if you're subscribed to Horizon Plus. The most interesting part is how this works on the headset itself though. You'll be able to stream Xbox games through the headset. I've been using on mine and it's pretty good. You play it on like basically a massive 100-inch screen in front of you, or you only get 10 hours of gaming each month.
So, I'll definitely bring you guys back into the fold a little bit later when there's a little bit more creativity going on. But we'll just leave it up. We'll leave it up. It's not a whole lot going on right now. Trying to do some writing, but I figured get on camera a little bit more just to get used to the whole interaction with somebody possibly watching
You
me.
just need to pair an Xbox controller directly with your headsets. If you remember though, Xbox previously introduced this Starter Edition as a
But this does give a
benefit
gift
Nitro members
to like
back
talking to
then,
yourself,
and it now
so
seems
you're not
that
actually
Microsoft is
talking to
looking
yourself,
for ways
but you
to
kind
bundle
of
Game
are.
Pass into other subscriptions, so maybe it did work with Nitro.
I don't know.
Ultimately, it's an
Don't
attempt to
know.
bring Xbox games to more players and devices, and if you've already paid for Meta Plus, then genuinely it's just a nice additional benefit. You'll have to let me know though if you actually use a Meta headset down below, if it will play some new VR games together at some point. In some big news, and if you missed my post over socials yesterday, I have mentioned that I'm currently playing an early preview of Gears of War ED multiplayer, that being Siege, Horde, and Burst modes. Although I can't really say how I feel about it at this moment in time, my coverage will be going live here on the channel on the 30th of July, along with a full match of gameplay of 4K with no cuts, so you can get a real feel of how this gameplay sounds. This is only one of a few previews that I have coming this year, so do make sure to subscribe down below, and also follow me over on our Instagram and Twitter. I'll be posting some stuff as well, especially when I head to Gamescom in a few weeks' time. About Gears though, let me know if there's anything you would like to see or know down in the comments below. Do like this video as well if you did.
Oh yeah, the reboot fucking video. Alright. So essentially, essentially,
To men and their fate, to defend my newfound friends, their hopes and dreams, to defend them from their enemies.
there we go. And we got do it, do it. Oh, we got a message on the cord. Um, yeah, we're not getting back to that yet. All right. Nice. So we're definitely moving fire.
Yo, what's up, man? Welcome back to Dial-Up Days. Where we dig up the movies, shows, and those strange portions of pop culture that somehow survived in our memories long after the VHS tape wore out and the movies went quiet. And honestly, today's video might be the single most Dial-Up Days thing that we've ever covered. And that's because before most families had something like reliable internet, and before computer animation took over the multiplex, and before any of us really knew what a firewall or a system crash even was, there was a cartoon that was brave enough, or maybe crazy enough, depending on how you see it, to set the whole story inside of a computer. At first glance, Reboot looked like a fun little Saturday morning romp about video games and weird digital people. But truthfully, behind the scenes, Reboot was doing something TV had genuinely never done. So grab your bowl of cereal, grab the remote while you're at it, because today we're going back to mainframe together. Let's get into it. The cartoon that should have been impossible. To help contextualize how wild the show Reboot really was, it helps to understand how hard computer animation was during the early 90s. We're talking about an era when rendering a few seconds of decent-looking CGI could take a room full of machines an entire night. A time when a single high-end workstation cost as much as a house. This was not a tool you casually made a weekly TV show with. It was barely a tool you made a commercial with. So who looks at that and thinks, yeah, let's do 22 minutes of this every single week? Well, a small group of 4 guys. Specifically, a group of British animators named Ian Pearson, Gavin Blair, Phil Mitchell, and Don Grace. And their story starts, of all places, on MTV. So, back in 1985, Pearson and Blair worked together on the groundbreaking computer animation for the Dire Straits music video, Money for Nothing. You know the one, and if you're anything like me, you can hear the song in your head right now. Money for Nothing was the music video with the blocky little polygon delivery men lugging appliances around. That video won Video of the Year at the MTV Award, and it was, for its moment, completely jaw-dropping technology. It also remains the greatest hype song of all time, in my humble opinion, but that's a different video, so let's keep on topic here. The way Gavin Blair tells this story is that the idea for Reboot was born that same night. They finished the video, went to the pub for a celebratory drink, and then Ian Pearson turned to him and said, essentially, you know, we could do a whole TV show like that. And Blair's response in his own words, I told him he was insane. And we don't think Blair was wrong to think so. After all, it would take these guys the better part of a whole decade, more accurately, about 9 years of tinkering, pitching, and getting told no before the show Reboot would ever hit the air. Now here's the part that I find genuinely clever. So these guys knew early CGI had a problem. It simply looked artificial. It was stiff, it looked plasticky, and oftentimes blocky as well. Things that should be soft kind of looked hard. Movement that would otherwise be fluid looked robotic. So instead of fighting that limitation, they built an entire world around it. Think about what that really means. If your characters look like shiny plastic and your buildings look like blocky geometry, and everything has this cold artificial sheen to it, well, of course it does, right? They live inside of a computer after all. The exact same thing that made early CGI look wrong for a normal cartoon made it look perfect in this situation.
The weakness became the whole aesthetic. In order to help pull this off, the team set up shop in Vancouver under a new studio named Mainframe Entertainment. Why Vancouver? Well, money, mostly. The Canadian dollar was weak against the US dollar, and Canadian production incentives meant that your budget stretched a lot further. So a wildly expensive show could become just barely possible. And when this show premiered on September 10th, 1994, Reboot became the first fully computer animated half-hour television series. Now, I'm sure you've heard the flashier version of that claim. Reboot came before Toy Story. And technically that is true. Reboot was on the air for more than a year before Pixar's Toy Story hit theaters in November of 95. But I'd like to be honest with y'all because that's kind of what we do here at Island. Toy Story was a feature film with a massive budget and a rendering farm to match. On the other hand, Reboot was a